In this silence of the mind, I can connect to the Supreme and listen to the voice of the Divine. When I listen, understanding that I am a soul, I can accept and use the teachings of the Supreme Soul on a day-to-day basis. Let us listen to these words of wisdom and understand how to apply them in our lives. Renunciation means to let go of everything and every situation, to step away from the feeling of anything belonging to you and to finish your rights to it. The one to whom you renounced that thing, it now belongs to that person. You cannot even have any thoughts of whatever you renounced because you cannot take back anything that you have renounced or promised to renounce. For example, sannyasi renounce their homes and relations and go away. However, if they were to return home again, what would that be called? In the same way, you are unlimited renunciates. You have renounced your old homes, that is, your old bodies and the consciousness of old bodies. Your intellects had the thought of never again being attracted to that old home of the body. You would not come back to it, even in your thoughts. That was the first renunciation. Would you like to share, Natalie?
Can I just be reminded for how long? Is this for 5 minutes?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
I'm clear. Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is quite a big step to renounce the consciousness of our body. For me, I think it is a very big step in the path of spirituality. The sannyasis move away physically from their homes and their families, but we're being told here to remove thoughts of the body and anything connected to the body. So I think this is a journey. I think this is a path to fill my mind with thoughts, not of the body, possessions, and my roles and responsibilities, but to fill my mind with thoughts of spirituality, which is what we've just heard, to ponder on that, thoughts of virtue, thoughts of positivity, thoughts that bring a good experience of lightness and happiness, contentment. And I think this process, we can't force this process and fight this. So we will swing between thoughts of spirituality, the soul, the divine, and then there'll be thoughts of the body for how long or how many births have we been connected to this physical body. But gently, with time and with dignity, that I work on this. And as the sannyasis physically move away, we're not moving away from our families or our responsibilities, but what is going on within the soul. And this is my constant attention, my personal constant attention throughout the day, and has been for many years. But yeah, even as I don't think of this body, or it's called an old body, anyway, it's an old body, but also the bodies of others, as I look and talk to others, to see them as a spiritual being, and to not get caught up in that role or that relationship of the body that I may have with someone. And this is also the old body consciousness. And so the practice of when I'm around anyone, I first see them as that being, that light, that divine light, the soul. I see them, see their goodness. The aim is to see their goodness and think of their goodness. And of course, that is work in progress. If we've been with people that we've known a long time, or we've had some history with them, and maybe some struggles with them, it's so easy to get caught up in what they've done or what they've said. And this is all called body consciousness. It's the old, it's the past, it's that old interaction, old meaning of no use, negative, not worth anything. And so again, coming back to seeing them as that spiritual being, the soul, seeing their potential, but also by seeing that I'm helping myself, I'm uplifting them, but I'm also uplifting myself. And so keeping my awareness in a high stage, in a benevolent stage, and that begins with what's going on in my mind and what thoughts am I having, new thoughts rather than old thoughts.
Don't be careless and think that you have let go of everything else. And so if only one of the physical senses causes mischief, that will automatically be put right in time. The fact is, the attraction of even one of the physical senses will stop you from belonging to the Father. It won't allow you to stabilize in a constant and stable stage. It won't allow you to enter number one. If someone has given up all their diamonds, jewels, and palaces, but still has some attachment to a damaged earthenware vessel, what would happen? Just as a diamond attracts towards itself, similarly the broken pot would repeatedly attract that person even more than a diamond. Even against their conscious wish, their intellect would repeatedly be pulled towards it. In this way, if you are still attracted by any of the physical senses, then that will repeatedly bring you down and stop you from experiencing an elevated status.
Thank you. And I've read this passage a few times, and again, I find this quite, if I can say, and I find that quite a tall order, to be detached from all my physical senses and not to be pulled by them. But it reminds me that whatever's going on for me, it's all in the being, it's in the soul, and this is what I'm wanting to be free from. I remember really not long ago seeing in the high street here some people fighting over their space as they were sleeping on the street, and it really made me think they were fighting for their corner within a shop on the street, what was theirs. And I remember thinking, wow, as that passage said, diamonds or this earthenware pot, but it's what's going on in me that's the cause here, isn't it? It's the attachment in me that I need to address, what's happening within the soul, but not to be disheartened, but to see, to observe, to understand, and to work with it. For me, as I hear this passage, it's a very big thing, but I keep coming back to the regular practice of who I am and what I'm to attain. I have to remind myself when I listen to these versions, what am I to attain? And if I see myself being pulled or attracted to something that's of no use and won't help me very much. But okay, old habits die hard. I've got work to do on myself and with gentleness and lightness. But what I'm to attain, what I'm going to get, what's happening. Really, like the future body that I'm going to have will be a very beautiful body, healthy and beautiful. And so to remind myself when I may get pulled by this old body, so I may be going through something, but the thoughts of the attainment of the future body that I will have would gently ease me out of it rather than fighting and arguing about within my own self of the thoughts that I'm having actually. That maybe I am becoming that, not maybe, but I am becoming that diamond. I may not be thinking in a diamond way, but okay, let's move on. And I am becoming that diamond. Yeah.
Would anyone else like to share any thoughts now? To summarize, the image of an old house being used for the body. Would anyone like to say why would you feel that there is an analogy between a house and the body? What is a spiritual meaning of comparing the body with an old house? And if this body is an old house, then which one could be a new house? And are we motivated to go to a new house? It's a straightforward image. The soul is the one who lives in this body, and for the soul, the body is just a house. And it has become old because all the beliefs, all the traditions, all the thoughts and attitudes are old in the sense of not being satisfactory anymore. They have become decayed. They are bringing only problems, all your old attitudes and feelings and thoughts. So what can we do? We could move into a new house. And the spiritual knowledge suggests that the new house can be this new angelic body, a body of light, a body of new thoughts, new vision, new feelings. So is it easy to trade off an old house for an angelic house of light, an angelic costume where you are in the company of many other angels? And the other image that was offered was that of a pot, that of a broken earthen pot. And it is like you have renounced so much and you are so ready on the spiritual path, but you still are attached to one physical sense. Can be taste, the attachment to that sour taste or that sweet taste or that little biscuit, but even that will prevent the soul from flying in the angelic stage. Or it can be attachment to hearing. You like certain music, you cannot meditate without that music, and that will still keep you trapped in the physical reality. So anyone would like to share any other thoughts on this?
Om Shanti. This is a perfect lesson that we have received from our Supreme Soul, our Supreme Father. Perfect way to end this year and to set our aim and objectives for the coming year. And it is a very good reminder about what state we are in, that we are souls and we are merely residents in this old body, this old home. And we are just guests in this home. And our aim is not to be attracted to physical senses, to physical objects, to physical bodies. But actually our aim is to stay high, light, up and above, beyond all of this, which will give us unlimited happiness, unlimited joy, peace, and our state will always be steady, which is the only way we can serve all those around us and be his instrument in order to bring joy, love, peace, happiness to everyone. For me, renouncing consciousness of the body, giving up the 5 vices which still keep emerging. For me, that is most important, to continue to try to persevere, to be aware of where I am, what state I am in, and try to continue to work towards removing these, renouncing these vices. And that only way we can do that is by going into a state of soul consciousness, to remember who I am, where I am, what my aims and objectives are.
Let us hear one more paragraph and Natalie can revise. Shakti means to be cooperative. Not a Shakti with a head of arrogance, but someone who always has all arms. Someone who cooperates in every situation. Souls who have the 10 heads of Ravan never cooperate. Through the heads of why, what, how, they would reveal their false arrogance. They solve the question of why and then raise the head of how. That is, they solve one thing and start something else. The symbol of cooperation is the arms. Whenever a task has to be accomplished collectively, what words do you use? Each one has to give a finger. It becomes difficult when the heads of Ravan are created. When you become the Shaktis with many arms, it becomes easy. Simply take one step of giving cooperation and you receive multi-millions of steps of cooperation. However, you become afraid to take the first step. You forget what you are going to receive and only remember what you have to give. This is why you find it difficult.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a very interesting passage. And I read this a few times, and I heard recently from one of our senior teachers that every time I say why, that breeds anger. Just that why is it? There's so many opportunities around for us to, why is this happening? Especially if we're in a gathering of a bigger group of people, then it's so automatic, isn't it, for these questions, why is this happening and it shouldn't be like this? Especially when we're so involved in our spiritual practice and we see so much going on, why, how, what, it should be like this and it shouldn't be like that. And so again, checking on my part, this importance of introversion, so that I see what's going on, and to understand that this questioning just breeds discomfort in me and takes away all that I can attain. Everything that maybe I've worked on can disappear in a moment when I have lots of questions within me. So beautiful, the power to cooperate, which is the last of the 8 powers in our lesson of the 8 powers, which is that just to say yes, to say, we use the word haji, and not to think about the outcome. It's often our thinking of what will happen and what will happen to me, and we kind of think of whatever we think of, but actually this thinking, and just to take that step and of cooperation in every situation, but also at the same time keeping our self-respect, keeping the awareness of the divine as I say yes and say haji, and then that power of cooperation will flow. This passage also talks about even small situations, which I think is really key actually. I might be on the sideline, or I might be observing, or and so I'm having those small thoughts of questions or doubts that feed negativity to a situation, even though I'm maybe not part of it. And this is not cooperation. So how much do I cooperate with my thoughts to everything going on around me? And it's a kind of reminder to me, the importance of the power to cooperate. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone would like to add any final thoughts? Then practice for today, would you like to suggest what can be the practice throughout the day?
Yeah, well, for me, I'm going to work, whether it suits everyone, but this gentle observation inside of what's ever going on around me. What are my thoughts at that time? Am I cooperating with my thoughts? Are they benevolent? Am I quiet inside even when whatever's happening to me or around me, so that I'm cooperating with the power of my own mind? I think that's something I feel I've got from this today.
Thank you. Letting go of the broken pot and embracing newness in the new year. Happy New Year, and we meet again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you.